Yo, what's happening, people, and welcome back to the Tiki Taka podcast. We're going to hear hot takes, unbiased opinions, and hopefully have a couple laughs along the way. We're back with a pod this week. Obviously, there were midweek fixtures, so we had to rearrange.
It's been a while.
We had to,
So
the last time they saw us was after North London Derby.
and
Obviously
days.
And obviously all the teams have played twice in the Premier League since then. We've obviously played Chelsea, which we didn't get to come on here and talk about, and obviously Brighton last night, City, Tottenham, Man United. All those guys have played 2 games. So when we talk about those teams and whatever, we can kind of potentially, if it's relevant,
frame the 2 fixtures,
the fixture before as well. Obviously for title race talk that might be relevant. But look, comment, subscribe, share the video.
Algorithm.
We're still here. Arsenal are still, hey, look, by hook or by crook, they're keeping us turning up here on the sofa.
Real.
Every week. So yeah, comment, subscribe, do all of that jazz. Because there's a lot to talk about this week, obviously covering this week and last week, but the Premier League is, as much as people want to call it boring, and that's been the narrative, and there's a title race, which people always want, that looks like it might go down to the wire. There's a top 4 race for Champions League, which is heating up. A lot of big teams in there. And the relegation race, which or battle, should I say, which might be one of the most important, one of the most interesting things.
Not agreed, bro. To that narrative about the Premier League being boring, it isn't. It's like, not even, I was going to say statistically, but that's not the right word. It isn't for the reasons you've just mentioned. Like, it isn't boring in the sense of, like, things are decided. It's even this whole little Wolves resurgence thing that we might get into a little bit. Like, it's funny how after last week, especially, I guess, from an Arsenal perspective, there was, like, this massive reaction to how football's being played, the state of the game today. Look, and it
doesn't help when you got managers throwing fuel on the fire.
And don't get me wrong, people have been trying to bring up this conversation for a couple years now. Yeah, but there was just this like whole sort of choir of people after we beat Chelsea the state of football today. The game is done. Premier League is boring. This kind of stuff.
I mean, look, we could get into
this
that
midweek.
This midweek,
like,
it didn't stop the narrative.
It didn't stop, but this midweek is like
bigger after Wednesday.
As prime Barclays, I was going to say weekend, as prime Barclays a fixture week as you can have. You can have
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Like, you're going to certain places. What was one of those fixtures? Anyway, we'll get into the whole thing, but one of those, I'm like, you don't want to go there midweek. You don't want to go to any one of these places.
I mean, there was quite a few of those. Obviously you say that.
Windy, blustering.
Yeah.
Tired.
And yeah, look, we mentioned there a lot to talk about, but before we get into it, William Osula.
It's getting a. I will clap for William Osula.
Bro, no, that goal, we're gonna get there because unreal. Look, we have to start with the title race. That is the biggest thing in the Premier League. The thing that we've alluded to there. A lot of narratives building. And on that narrative thing, I think a lot of it is and look, this isn't like an Arsenal victim mentality, or like, look, everybody knows that every rival fan hates Arsenal. That's common knowledge. And because Arsenal are at the top, it's an issue. Yeah, that is the fact of it all. Because if City were at the top, I don't think we'd have, and City were 7 points clear, I don't think we'd have boring league accusations at all, really.
Which is ironic, because it would be boring.
Yeah, it's the same league. We're the same team, they're the same team. But if City were 7 points clear, that narrative wouldn't be there at all, because it would be Pep Guardiola, it'd be Rodri, it'd be Bernardo, it'd be all this stuff.
It'd be winners win, losers lose.
You know what I'm saying? The only reason that narrative is there is because Arsenal at the top. People don't like Arsenal being at the top, and I think people don't like Arsenal being at the top, especially the way
we're at the top
doing it. Which, for us Arsenal fans, I think for you as well, from the tweets you were sending me Thursday morning after the result, it makes it sweeter.
It does make it
sweeter. It actually does make it sweeter. But look, Arsenal went to Brighton. One of the fixtures you're talking about, you don't want to go there. On a Wednesday night.
On a short turnover.
You were a bit worried about this game.
I was very worried.
Yeah, very worried.
I was circling this game as harder than Chelsea and Tottenham, and
I think a lot of Arsenal fans were.
I did not think we was going to come out of there with 3 points up until 96-58.
Yeah.
You know, like the
Yeah.
whole game, I was just like, yeah, Brighton are gonna score. It's gonna be 1-1. Something's gonna,
in the first half when Hurzeler and Arteta had the
little,
I thought the loss was banked at that point. I thought we're 1-0 up. Arteta's beefed the manager in true Arsenal fashion. They might score 2 late goals.
Yeah.
And then Hurzeler might go running down the touchline in front of Arteta.
It's kind of it's so funny because it's Friday now, so we're like 2 days removed from it. But my nerves, bro, my palms are sweaty. I've got sweat patches on my shirt. Those final 10, 15 minutes, as I'm looking at every ball that goes into the box, as I'm looking at every clearance, I'm like, man, this, like, it could be anything. Yeah, but it is so, like, final whistles, how final whistles sound these days at this stage of the season. There isn't a feeling.
Even the Chelsea game as well.
There isn't a feeling that can describe how final whistles sound. Like, like I was begging the ref. I'm begging him, Captain Gabriel Raya, please, someone hand on this, head on that. Do something. Look, we've got 8 more games with all of this kind of stuff. The performance, I don't think there's really much to write home about. Like, I think it was one of our worst performances of the season, actually. There was a lot of more,
I don't know,
frustrating things for me.
I felt like the performance was being overdone a bit, like, on how bad it was. Like, Hurzeler obviously said what he said, and we'll get onto that. But at heart, everyone's bringing up at half time Arsenal had 0.01 XG. Yeah, which isn't great. Yeah, but we're 1-0 up, whatever. At the end of the game, Arsenal actually had more XG than Brighton. So for as much as there's only one team trying to play football out there,
I don't think that Brighton played well either, to be honest. Especially for a lot of what Hurzeler was saying. Like, I don't think his team brought the game to us. They were better than us, maybe, but I don't think they brought the game to us in that way. But maybe for me, and the performance wholeheartedly doesn't matter to me. Wholeheartedly, we're 8 games left of the season. Like, talking about whether or not it was a good performance, it's neither here nor there. We don't care. Yeah. But just in the sense of how it all sort of panned out, how the 3 points panned out.
Yeah.
That the highlights, quote unquote, the talking points of the game, like it really, for me, it isn't much. Like, it's a lot similar to a lot of some of these other games, say even the Chelsea game, for example, where it was like we were always, our XG should have been way better than what it was, because we were always one pass away from that final pass.
Yeah.
I remember there was a time that Saka was almost through on goal and Gyökeres just doesn't have enough on the pass.
Yeah.
I remember Trossard, Martinelli, like I know Martinelli's got a big one coming for us, but it's loading up in the next couple of games. But fuck me, bro. The last 2 Martinelli performances, and all of this is null and void. This is just like venting and ranting and raving because we got the points on the board, so who cares?
Because obviously we've had conversations, the back four, they do what they do, but I think if we were going to win this game, the likelihood of us winning it was going to be, we would have said like was going to be this way.
I actually think that it's coming to the point now where, like,
and just quickly, because you mentioned a couple of players there, I actually thought Eze was one of the better games.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I thought Eze actually played pretty well in the game.
All of our most creative chances or whatever, our best passages of play came at him at the
like
heart.
Trossard should make that 2-0 with 15 minutes left, with the chance that Timber cuts back to him.
And we've seen Trossard score that one before.
Yeah,
Everton
away. Yeah. And that should be game over. And that's kind of the Arteta away from home blueprint. Like, I know all this talk about, we didn't play well and whatever, but it's like, well, that's
no, you can't be greedy in the sense of like expect an Arsenal team to create 15, 16, 17 chances. But I was gonna say, I think the team, and they've been doing this for a while now, but like, it's so evident to me that they're leaning into this resilient where we don't like the whole defense, to be American, defense wins championships. Yeah, like, it's just more evident than ever that if we go 1-0 up, honestly, rather than go and put 2, 3, 4 past anybody, this team is more happy to sit on that one and ask you to break us down. Like, for me, just going to be more evident in the past couple of games. And as I say, I kind of hear it, like, I think internally or whatever. I know Arteta's telling teams, go kill games, go push for more, go do this, go do that. I know there's no way Arteta is telling guys rest on their laurels, be lax in possession, all this kind of stuff. But the intrinsic mentality of the team when they're out there is that they don't think many teams can score on them. Yeah. So when they get one, if it comes in the 9th minute, like we would have played more attacking and more beautiful football or whatever it was if we didn't score in the 9th minute.
Yeah.
But there was something in the team that thought that it's going to be really hard for Brighton to get one today.
Yeah.
And a lot of the game, as I was saying to you off air though, man, any 1-0 win comes down to the margins. But when you're going for a title race and there's 8 games left or 9 games left at the time, whatever it is, boy, do those margins matter in these big, like I can't even say big ones, but like in these games.
And how you play when there's 8 games left is irrelevant.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
Yeah. So obviously going to Brighton now, that Brighton's a tough place to go. Yeah. And that was always going to be a tough fixture. Because of the way they play, they come and play football, they're aggressive. At some points it looked like UFC out there.
Van Hecke had 2 huge challenges.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's one of those ones where if there was the still image, it should be a red card because he's in the air. He's got like both feet out like that. Like, don't get me wrong. He gets the ball both times. We have respect for Van Hecke.
Kadioglu's just wrestled Saka to the ground, not even looking at the ball. The ball's over there. And he's wrestling Saka over here in front of him. But Brighton are an aggressive team. That's how Fabian Hurzeler wants his team to play. That's not just a thing because Arsenal came to town, although it was probably amped up a bit and whatever with Hurzeler's comments. Again, we'll get onto all of that. But that is how Brighton play. They are aggressive. They do press high. They do try and go for it. So it's never going to be an easy game. It's never really going to be an easy game where we're creating like 4 or 5 chances and we should put them to bed and bury them and all of this. Like Brighton make it tough like they do for most teams. So to come out there with a 1-0 win. Similar to the Chelsea one, like.
Did you remember we beat them 3-0 a couple of years ago? Those were the only 3 chances we created in the game. Like the
penalty.
Yeah, the style and performance is kind of the same. As I say, if Trossard goes in and all this kind of stuff, like that day Havertz had a little dink over the keeper, all this kind of stuff. But those were really the only chances. And when it's 3-0, you say, when you take your chances, you say, comprehensive win. And, you know, just battered them and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't ever remember a time when we've gone to Brighton
and what's funny is
opened them up.
Yeah. What's funny is that if Trossard does score, well, the 22-20 when Martin Odegaard that's exactly, you know what that exactly.
So
if Trossard does score that chance in Wednesday's game, though, to make it 2-0, I think the game ends 3-0. Because Brighton don't stop and they don't damage they just play the same way. They send man forward. And that's how the last game that we're talking about ended 3-0. I think Trossard goes away on the break late on in the game and makes it 3-0 in that game. I think that's how it would have looked. And then if we win this game 3-0, because we've scored 2 in the last 15 minutes or whatever, obviously. But look, that's all that on the game and what actually transpired there. But Gabriel and Hincapié.
Yeah. Speak on it.
The 2 players we need to talk about on this game. Saliba, again, Wednesday night, Brian. It's becoming a bit of a recurring thing.
No. I've just clocked on. This is in the contract. This is in the contract. These games off.
What was the last one?
Saliba negotiate. It was like 2 games ago or something. Saliba didn't play. There was a game that we had just the other day where he was at the team sheet.
Brentford.
Yeah. There's something
Brighton away Wednesday night.
There's something in the contract.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, those 3 times a week have turned to 2 times a week. You've earned your stripes. He has a good agent. He's negotiated. He's negotiated with the team and Arteta.
He gets to sit because
I need more trips.
He's not fancying that.
I need more trips back to France.
Yeah.
I see the young buck.
Also after the JP test on Sunday, I think Saliba.
They had him down as a slight ankle injury.
Yeah. Precautionary. Whatever. Look, so obviously the back 4 goes out there. Hincapié is at left back and Mosquera's at centre back. Mosquera does really well. Brilliant. Again, impressed with him. Again, fine margins.
Fine margins, bro. Fine margins.
If Minte's not so honest, thank you, Minte. But if Minte's not so honest, it's done. Yeah, it was sent off, and then we probably do end up losing the game 2-1 or whatever. But no, I can't get onto Mosquera for that. He's young.
Whatever.
Like, and I know if he got sent off there, Arteta would have killed.
Yeah, he wouldn't play another game to the end of the season
because I know at half time and that bit in the first half when there was a stop and the players get Arteta's telling Mosquera, no.
Welcome back, Ben White. Timber moving to the centre.
And then very quickly after that, Mosquera comes off. Calafiori comes on and Hincapié has to move to centre back.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned about the headers at the end and blocks on the line. There was 1 point match of the day highlighted it. Capier goes for a run and he wins the ball. Two guys are tracking him. He nutmegs the guy, but then the Brighton player on the other end gets the ball. They're coming this way. Capier, he's on the floor. He tries to head it. He gets up. He sprints back. Martinelli sprinting back. Martinelli overtakes Capier
in the first half when Declan Rice gave away that ball.
Again, match of the day showed that clip. Both of them though. Rice coming back and then Rice makes a slide.
But the challenge from it is like
the first challenge round. Like, bro, the performance from all the Arsenal players in terms of energy and effort level yesterday was top.
Yeah,
top. Like, it could not have been.
And another reason why I think it's so top is because of what we've just said about short turnover. We played Saturday or Sunday. Sunday we played Chelsea. So you've got 3 days, and then you've got to go to a Brighton away midweek. Like, I don't think a lot of teams this week played their best football. In this match week just gone, played their best football, because I don't necessarily think some of these midweek games are about beautiful football. A lot of this is about mental resolve. A lot of this, like the whole 38 games in a season stuff and how they do the scheduling and how they do all of this stuff. There's some games like our next game that we have against Everton at home. I don't care really still, but we've got Mansfield and we've got a Champions League game, and we've got some time in between it. So I'm expecting maybe a little bit more stuff right at the carpet, all this kind of stuff. Like, I want to see more than one goal potentially in that game if we're lucky. But for this Brighton game, I really didn't have any sort of expectations of like it needs to be free-flowing football, because I just don't think that's realistic. At this stage of the season, we've done 6, 7, 8, 9 months of consistent football. Guys have played 3 days ago and 3 days before that and 3 days before that and 3 days before that. Like, people are hitting that wall, man. People are hitting that wall. Now, and it's not just Arsenal. It's not just Arsenal players. It's we've seen the results around the league. As I said, it's very Barclays. And some of these teams that have been playing less fixtures, this is their time. This is when they're getting guys back. This is when they're not losing players, and mentally they're feeling as if they can get out a couple guys. So that is such a huge point.
Yeah, and I do think that, like, if you are somewhat weighted, like, I know you're saying obviously against Everton, hopefully we get some more free flowing football, hopefully being the operative word, but I do think that if you're an Arsenal fan and you're waiting for this team to start playing some free flowing, exciting stuff, it's not coming in the sense of like Arsene Wenger days, but coming in the sense of like, I don't think it will look as bad. Whatever we do at Everton, I don't think will look as bad as the Brighton game. And it's not that I don't think the Brighton game was... No, I think the Brighton game is a really good performance, but I think the Brighton game is it's an eyesore for the neutral. If you're tuning into the title race... How many of our games at Chelsea?
Yeah, no. Eyesore. But I think there's stuff in the Chelsea game. There's tactical battles. I'm seeing Gyökeres and Chalobah one-on-one. Like, I give Chalobah his credit, all this kind of stuff. The stuff that's going on. I think in this Brighton game, it's like, as an Arsenal fan, I love it because I get to see Gabriel and Hincapié.
You're countering eyesore with Chalobah.
And Gyökeres. But I'm saying, like, there's at least this, like, oh, well, tactically, how is this working? How are they getting guys into these positions? Like,
sit down with Hurzeler and Arteta.
No, in this Brighton game, like, in terms of how we defended our box, unbelievable. That's football right there. Yeah, but everything else, it was just hoof, long ball up. Brighton bring it back. We defend our box really well. Hoof again out into space. Yeah. Brighton bring it back. We defend our box really well. Like, I don't think that will be the pattern. Moving forward, I don't think that would be I don't think that was the pattern in those games. Like, Brentford, that's just a good game. Full stop. Like, it's back, it's forth. Brentford had the better of the chances, but there's a couple of stuff in it for us. I think even the Chelsea game, and it's not that these are like exceptional games. Yeah, I just don't think that these are the level of the game that the Brighton is just, as I say, it's midweek, short turnaround. But more about mentality than I think.
It was a good game in that sense, no?
You thought what, Palace?
No, the Brighton game, in terms of like comparing it to maybe like Brentford and Wolves, I thought was a good game.
Yeah, we didn't win that Brentford game. We didn't win that Wolves game. But I would much rather watch those two games back than watch. And I know we got the 3 points. I'm just saying, like, in terms of...
But is that because of the tenseness at the end? And
it's not even the tenseness at the end. I just don't think that there was much... Arsenal are It's like,
you'd rather watch the Wolves game back.
can you imagine? But like, seriously, I'm looking at the stuff for the Hincapié goal. I'm seeing Gabriel passing the ball. Like, did Gabriel pass the ball between the lines once? Like once,
but I'd
once
rather
on Wednesday.
just see us keep a clean sheet.
And that's where the satisfaction comes in at the
Yeah.
very final minute when we keep a clean sheet. Yeah. So I hear it. It's kind of like a convoluted point. But in terms of how the actual, like, from when we scored in the 9th minute till the final whistle, it's the best stuff I can talk about are Arsenal defensive contributions. You know, it's Hincapié, it's Gabriel, it's, you know, Timber again. Like, we were speaking about Timber the other day about how he's potentially hit. It seems like he's burst through that wall now. Timber's is just, I'm back. I'm turning up with GAs and assists. I'm still locking down my guys. That's the stuff that I praise. And as an Arsenal fan, I do genuinely love that and appreciate that. But and it's not even from a neutral perspective, but just in terms of games of football, like actual sitting down to watch games of football, I do think the Brentford game, I do think the Wolves game was better. And maybe it's also a bit to do with the opposition bringing something to the table, that bit of quality. I don't think Brighton were that good yesterday.
Yeah.
I really don't think, and it's two parts.
Yeah, in the final third,
we didn't need to be good after we got the first goal in the first 10 minutes. So the onus is on Brighton to pull quality out of us. But yeah, I feel like Brentford and Wolves and some of these other guys, like there was more that we were trying to do on the ball. I guess maybe because they had scored. Like, because the other team had scored, we were trying to do a bit more on the ball.
No, that Wolves second half, we didn't do anything. We didn't try nothing that second half. I mean, after Hincapié's goal, we didn't try nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's still for me better than the Wolves. That Wolves second 45 minutes is like, as I say, because we get the 3 points.
I'll never watch that ever again. I'll happily go back and watch the 45.
No. I mean, all 3 of those performances are really low down in terms of watch back again.
Yeah.
You know?
This Brighton one, man. Look, if things go the way they go, obviously this is a massive result.
But the result can't be questioned.
But look, we spoke about Hincapié, yeah. I've done the deep dive, yeah. I came across this on Twitter, yeah. We don't usually read stats out, yeah, but this is nuts. Yeah, so Hincapié versus Premier League fullbacks per 90. Yeah, so these are all the other Premier League fullbacks in the league. Jules 1 percentage first, pass completion percentage first, forward pass completion percentage first, short pass completion percentage
crazy.
First. Possession plus minus. You've educated me on the plus minus. Possession plus minus first. Yeah. Possession 1 lost. So obviously combined between the 2 second. Progressive pass accuracy percentage third, and pass completion to the final third percentage third. Yeah, that's against all other Premier League fullbacks.
Since the Wolves game, he might be the best fullback in the country.
But the question I was going to ask you, who's been our best summer signing? Because my dad made a statement that Hincapié after the Brighton game, he said that he thinks he's been, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? I mean, Zubimendi has played more minutes and run more kilometers than any other Premier League player.
I think he's also played more forward passes.
But, bro, I don't mind the shout, you know.
Hincapié's turned it on like massively.
And for how much we've needed
and look,
someone to step up in that
it's difficult to say right now because, for example, if Hincapié plays at this level for the next 7 games, 8 games and job done, then it really, really for me starts to become a like, well, you know, the first 6 months, it's not that he was bad or awful or atrocious or anything to that imagination.
He just didn't play that much.
It just doesn't compare to who he was in the final 6 months when it's business end of the season and he's looking to Hincapié's point, bro, there's times, and I've seen it in the Chelsea game, like after a while, Hincapié's not even getting into defensive positions. Like he's won the mental battle over his fullback. He's just stood up straight, looking at his fullback, being like, yeah, which way do you want to go? I'm going to get there. Something in the beginning of the game, he shows everybody respect. He crouches. He gets his knees low. He's, which way do you want to? Which way do you want to go? And then after a while, he's looking at Pedro Neto, and he's just like stood up, back straight. Yeah, which way? Well, I got you. Like, and it's been like that, bro. To any fullback, after about 75 minutes, and then you can tell that he's just crushed this person mentally.
Steve-O. Steve-O at the Emirates.
He's just crushed this person mentally. It starts to look really long. It starts to look really long for the other guy.
100%.
Like, I hear it. He has a shout. I don't think Gyökeres has been our best signing, but I do want to give him credit for he didn't play well yesterday and all this kind of stuff. Awful. But I'm even thinking like,
I mean, the difference when Havertz came on.
I agree, but that's my point is if Gyökeres's 10 to 12 goals in the Premier League alone were just a safety blanket till we could get Havertz back. Yeah, like because Havertz has not played much football at all this season. Yeah. So for us to be where we are in this position, 7 points clear, all this kind of stuff, top of Champions League, whatever. Like Gyökeres isn't the 20 goal a season guy that we thought we were going to get initially, and cool squad player. We've been saying that on the pod for a while, but if his 10 to 12 goals were enough of a safety blanket till we can actually get our best striker back, then it doesn't make him the best signing of the summer, but it does change my sort of analysis of him or my opinion of him. Like maybe he has done his job in just holding the team down enough till the better players come back.
I mean, look, we said before when we had a conversation on the attack, Gyökeres is just going to be judged on
goals,
the trophies.
Yeah.
Right. Not even goals, because if he scores 15 goals and we don't win the league,
he gets clowned.
Like,
but
what was it? Like, you score 15 goals, great, but what was it really worth? If you score 12 goals and we win the league, great signing. Unbelievable signing.
Especially if
you've got us over the line.
Especially if Havertz is out for 7 months of the year.
But
it doesn't make him the best signing, though.
Yeah, that stuff is... Because if we don't win the league, it will be like, well, maybe if Gyökeres had padded us with...
Yeah.
So that is all dependent. But I agree with you, like, because if you take Gyökeres, he's our top scorer. Yeah, so respect on that. But if you take Gyökeres' goals away, no one else is chipping in with those goals.
Well,
Jesus is not getting those goals.
Are we 4 points behind? Are we trying to clawing back?
So 100%. And obviously, he's not the gunman that Arsenal thought that he might be. But agree with you, like, squad player potentially, because I think the Arsenal and Mikel Arteta need the Gyökeres profile. I think he's proved that already, regardless of what happens from now to the end of the season. The
thought process behind it wasn't the worst. Yeah.
Even though Arteta, I don't know, he might be looking sideways and whatever. Sesko had some nice touches yesterday, but irrelevant. Yeah, like we need that profile. Like you said, Havertz. Even if next year Jesus is probably going to go and you bring in a striker, Havertz can obviously play multiple positions. Arteta's still going to do that. And you have potentially the striker you bring in, Michael knows who I want that to be, right? But Julian Alvarez, and you have him and Gyökeres, perfect.
That is perfect.
Because like we've said it before, you let Alvarez run the 70 minutes, 2-0 up, 2-1 up,
yeah.
And Champions League, Gyökeres has a very good record. We're not even spoken about that. Champions League games, Gyökeres can step in for if there's any. That he's not going to be the
signing of the summer for Arsenal.
Yeah,
no way.
Yeah.
I agree. I just had to make his case in the sense of like, I feel like guys are going to go too hard clowning him, saying is this, saying is that. But you're right. If he wins the league, it's whatever. Who gives? But it's also, for me, it's just, all right, well, yeah, you're not the main guy in terms of being our best striker. I agree it was night and day when Havertz came on, and I still think it was actually one of Havertz's worst performances. Yeah, and Havertz was good.
I thought he did all right.
I thought Havertz was good in the sense of like he
like fighting for stuff.
Transformed the style of we were back on the front foot again, and the Trossard link up and all these touches. But there was a point in the second half where Havertz is like picked up the ball deep in our half and just run in a straight line to win a foul to relieve some pressure. And I'm like, Gyökeres is not doing that. Full stop.
You know his chance when if Verbruggen saves it.
The near post.
Near post. Yeah, onside.
No, onside. Trossard first time ball. Havertz onside.
Havertz he's got to be 40 yards away.
I like. Of course, the onside bit is the impressive part about the run. But how has he read that? Like, it's just a loose ball. Like, it's just a loose ball. And how has he read that? Trossard's read that Havertz is on the move.
Yeah. I know this is something we can talk about off there,
but yeah.
Why's Havertz shooting?
That we can. Yeah. But to answer your question bluntly, I still have it as Zubimendi for now. But as I say, how these last couple games go, because I do think Zubimendi's come off the boil in terms of his form. He's still putting in the work and what he needs to be doing, all this kind of stuff. But yeah, Hincapié in terms of his form and his he's on the radar. He's on the radar for sure.
I agree. And look, in terms of a last player to talk about, Bukayo Saka, just a quick shout out because 300 Arsenal appearances,
a lot
at the age of 24, which is nuts. Like that is actually crazy. he's well on track to beat the record, beat Arsenal's
All-time
top appearance maker, and obviously he signed that off with a goal.
I don't even know who that is.
I think in the Premier League it's Ray Parlour.
Mm.
He's got like 300 and something, and I think all time it's like
Keon? I don't know.
I think it's like a Niall Quinn or like a David O'Leary.
Niall Quinn
with like 700
I
appearances.
never would have guessed.
I think it's something
Quinn.
like that. Actually, you know what? Let me Google it because we shouldn't really be running a football book. Arsenal record appearance, but yeah, look, Saka.
Yeah. I think Saka was,
and the goal. I don't care what people say. It's about time Saka got that luck.
It's about time Saka got that luck. Salah, how many times has Salah just had that type of
again? Jose started near post.
How many times? And everyone says that's just what he does. Yeah. And this, I was calling out for Saka to step up and help us out in the title race. I was trying to, say that like this team is gonna get to the destination on your back, bro. And I'm not confident that he's all the way firing at all cylinders, but that goal is directly linked to 3 points. So I can't come at him today or say anything sideways. Like, he has turned up today, and I hold my breath until next week to see if he can do it again at home. Hopefully this unlocks a little something in his sort of confidence or whatever it is. I don't even think he's low on confidence, but he was all right in the game, but his goal is the difference, and that's all I need from Saka.
Yeah.
All I need from Saka right now is to phone it in, to get the GAs, to help the team, to be the quality. And when guys aren't willing to shoot, I was even annoyed with him really at the first instance when he's tried to pass it to Martinelli. Like, we're at the stage of the season now where like just go for it yourself. There's don't LeBron it. Don't play the perfect pass. Don't no. Bro, right foot, left foot. Be as greedy as you possibly can.
Yeah, but so look here, bro. So it's not Niall Quinn. David O'Leary,
okay,
722. Tony Adams, and most Premier League appearances. Ray Parlour, 333. So Saka will break those records
next season.
Yeah, and yeah. Look, it was just good to see that, and again, like, talking, if we want to talk on Saka's numbers and whatever, at the moment in the Premier League, he's got 6 goals and 8 assists.
Oh, does he? I didn't even know that. I thought it was like 4 and 3
I saw it the other day. Yeah, same. I thought, let me actually just see what's going on here. 6 goals, 8 assists.
I think Saka can get to 10 and 10.
Right, which would be the target. And if you get to 10 and 10, and initially in my head, I thought, if he gets to 10 and 10, then that's mad, because in Saka's off season he's got 10 and 10. But then I'm like, that's not an off season for a winger.
Yeah, it isn't.
That's for any winger.
Yeah, it isn't.
Regardless of your level, like,
isn't.
Especially Premier League.
I think they were saying that Brendan Johnson got that last year. Was Tottenham's best scorer. He was the highest scorer in the club.
Not 10 and 10. That's 10 goals. I think he got 10 goals, 5 assists. Yeah, 10 goals, 5 assists. But like, if Saka, the thing with the 10 and 10 is that, like, I remember one season Saka had a 15 and 5. And that seems a lot better. It sounds a lot better because there's 15 goals. But the 10 and 10, if we win the league, he's Arsenal's chief goal scorer and chief creator potentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then look, finally, obviously, before we bring in Man City and kind of finish up there, Fabian Hurzeler. Now, we've had a lot of conversations about Fabian Hurzeler. We think Fabian Hurzeler is a good manager.
Yeah.
Any opinions on Fabian Hurzeler changed?
You know what? He's doing his best to try and make an enemy out of me. But I'm still Team Hurzeler.
But do you think... actually, no, go on.
I'm still Team Hurzeler, and I do think he's whining and he's whinging and he's crying and he's saying a lot of stuff that it's just easy to say as a Brighton manager. Yeah? Like, he isn't going for the title. He doesn't have to win by any means. Brighton fans mainly just want to stay in the Premier League and see good football. Yeah? To keep him his job and all the rest of it. I do hear him out on some respects. As I say, he is still whining, he is still bitching, he is still this and he is still that. But like, I don't know. I'm a bit torn, because from a non-biased POV, like, I hear why he's calling out that. What he's calling out is to try and give him the best competitive advantage to win the game. Yeah, because if we go 1-0 up in the first 10 minutes, and we do take 30 seconds of throw-in and 30 seconds of corner, the game is gonna disappear from you, bro. Yeah. It's gonna add up, it's gonna stack up and disappear from you. But my gripe with Fabian Hurzeler, my 2 gripes with Fabian Hurzeler are: one, and maybe this is like biased, obviously, I just don't know if Fabian Hurzeler has done enough in the game or in the Premier League to be coming out Arteta like this.
Yeah.
or to be saying this like with the chest that he's saying this, Premier League need to do something, step in. They're making up the rules. They're doing what they want. Like, I just don't know if there's enough stock. And we've had positive conversations and Fabian Hurzeler. I just don't know if he has enough of that in the game. And two, I just don't think his team brought it enough for him to back up his chat in the post match and to double down on this kind of stuff. Like, if Brighton were hammering down the door, if Brighton, it was really sort of picturesque, silky stuff moving between the lines. And I think he made some mistakes in that. As soon as he made that triple change, I was like, cool. Like,
but you know what though? I think like Matoma played a nice one too in the first half. He goes through Gabriel.
Immense block. Yeah. Screaming in the face. Yeah.
That might be hitting the back of the head. That's one chance. Vifa's header. I think on another day he had that a bit better. That can go in. Those two chances might be the best you create against Arsenal. That might we know how good our defense is. We know how much we shut up shop.
I hear that. So that's why I'm not all the way here to kill him, because if you know that those might be your two best chances in the game, or chances to that ilk is all it's gonna be, you have to start hoping the ref is gonna help you out. You have to start trying to play on the fans. You have to start like he's done a smart tactic to try and foster. He's tried to play on the nerves of Arsenal. He wants the ref to get involved. He wants the fans to get involved. He wants everybody to... And the fans, they were moaning and groaning, and every time he had to throw in his boos and this and that. And it's like the Chelsea thing, like the Liam Rossini Carabao Cup thing. Like, if it works, if you drag us into deep waters and you get that equalizer, it can all go your way. You can be vindicated. You've done it.
Gary Neville's still waiting to praise Liam.
But if it doesn't work, then Arteta has to get the praise. Whatever the mental games, the arithmetics, all this stuff that you've done to try and get under Arteta's skin or get under the Arsenal team skin or whatever it is, it hasn't worked. Arteta's batted it away. He's got the team focused and disciplined, and we've played a nasty, dirty game, and the margins have favoured us. And those are 3 points. And ultimately, another disagreement I have with Hurzeler is Hurzeler's moving as if we're like the epitome of evil, or like we're doing stuff that physically is not in the rules of the game, or isn't it? Like, this has been done before. This will be done again in the future of the game. He's moving as if, like, as he's been saying, we are rewriting the rules of football. As much as football is what happens on the pitch, football is all this little nitty gritty elbows and like that foul.
And I wouldn't expect a 31-year-old to know that.
Hey, it comes with the time, it comes with the age. Arteta's had to learn this stuff when they've come out even about being too emotional, all this kind of stuff. And I guess another thing we can talk about off air, but there was a particular foul that Gabriel won off Danny Welbeck. I don't even think that's a foul.
I think that actually is a foul.
I think Gabby...
Yeah, he's good at that.
He's playing that blind.
But like you say, and how many times has that happened before? Fernandinho.
And so that's my point of, that is football. Like, as much as guys are like this and that and this and that, that is football. Like, that is part of
Sergio Ramos.
Yeah, that is part of football. As much as
a part of football, and this is the point that Fabian Hurzeler needs to be at the highest.
As much as beautiful like passages of play with passing and when to win a foul, how to win a foul, when to take a corner, how you take your corners, throw, all that stuff is as much of football as the beautiful stuff.
Yeah, look, I agree heavily on what you said there, and I think you've been very balanced, which is funny because if we didn't do this podcast, I feel like I would probably hate Fabian Hurzeler. But because we do this podcast and the intro's unbiased stuff, if I take a step back and I look at it, a bit like almost we did it with the Onslaught and Mo Salah situation. As a Liverpool fan, you'd be fuming. But if you take a step back and look at it, I completely agree. I think Fabian Hurzeler he's a good manager.
Yeah.
We've said that before. Now, these comments and stuff, it's not the right time to be making them when you've won 3 in 16. Yeah, like, you need to sort your team out. You need to sort out where you need to be. But he's come into this Arsenal game and he's made a point before the game of talking about how we play. Yeah. And I don't think Fabian Hurzeler, even like, he's 31, he's young. Obviously,
31 is nuts, bro.
We're younger than Fabian.
Yeah, 31 is nuts.
But I am gonna sit.
He's our age mate.
Right? Yeah, like, we're younger than Fabian Hurzeler, but I am gonna sit here and say that, like, that is because Fabian Hurzeler is younger.
Is younger.
All the extra stuff on it. But I think he's come out in the press conference before. I don't think before the game stuff is emotional. Yeah, I think he's thought that out.
Trying to get
like
refs,
you said,
fans.
We know so much about this Premier League, the fine details, the fine margins, do everything you possibly can. I think Fabian Hurzeler has tactically come out before the game and made this point about referees and time wasting. And he's done it before the game so that when we go to Brighton, the referees and the Brighton fans, because the Brighton fans were on it as well.
Yeah.
And Fabian Hurzeler made a point after the game of coming out and saying the fans were amazing today. And so he's done that tactically, yeah, which removed the Arsenal cap and everything.
Yeah.
That you want your manager to do that.
Yeah.
Because Brighton, they're not going to come up against Arsenal, City, Liverpool, and just beat them because they're better.
They're better than them, right? Exactly.
All of those other things they need
have to align,
and that's what we ask top managers to do. Yeah, at other clubs, at Tottenham, when Tottenham are failing, at Newcastle when Eddie Howe's going through a tough match, Emery at Villa, find anything you can. So all that stuff before the game, calm, right? I do think Arteta was nasty. Because I think Arteta's told them to really take the piss in this game after Fabian Hurzeler said. Because we take the piss with
typically we said it before in the pods. Why do we take so long on throwing
corners? Whatever. But the Brighton one, it was like like Calla came on. I think 3 times Calla had the throw on that. So he could have been booked all 3 times. I was like, well, if you don't throw it now, you're gonna get booked.
Do you know them ones when the ball is on the cone, but the player's still chasing the bounce?
Yeah, and then Calla's doing the rub of the ball and yeah, I feel like Arteta's mate. Look, he thinks we're time wasting. Let's show him some time wasting. David Raya's gone down twice. I saw it twice.
Yeah, the Raya.
So, to
get the subs on.
Yeah. Keep the whole game. Fabian Hurzeler's game. We didn't mention it, but Hincapié, shout out. Love that. And obviously they've had their scrap on the. So all of that goes on in the game, and like you say, Brighton weren't good enough. Maybe they were good enough to get a result. They weren't good enough to win. Yeah. But ultimately, on the flip side of that, they weren't good enough to get a result because the Arsenal defense is that good. Yeah. So for as much as you've created David Raya and the Arsenal defense, there was also a shot from someone that David Raya parried out.
Yeah.
Like you weren't good enough to get it done. So now after the game, when you're going to come out and you mentioned about they make their own rules. To me, the biggest quote was, I will never be a manager
that wins
that
this
tries
way.
to win in that way. That was the biggest quote for me that I took away because I was like, cool. Everything before the game, I chalked up to this is top managers.
Yeah, tactics.
Doing
strategy.
What they can.
Yeah.
Right. And there have been times, I can't remember off the top of my head, where Arteta's probably made comments about, I remember Newcastle.
We know how they play, their bullies, they kick.
There was the classic, we know what game we're in for. We know what they're trying to do. And in the second half, we played their game. And that's all. Arteta's not going to be as obvious with it. But that's all time wasting. That's all like the pressure on decisions and Newcastle and whatever. So Arteta's done that before. But after the game, to say that, and this is where I'll put it down to him being 31. And being a young guy, never being at the top of the game. Because if Fabian Hurzeler, I saw Flex say like, talking about this quote on "I will never be a manager that wins that way." Flex was like, "That's cool, bro. That's cool. You win 3 in 16 at Brighton.
Playing beautiful football.
Yeah, you play beautiful football at Brighton. Finish 10th, 11th, 12th. You play beautiful football your whole career. Go and do that. Yeah, but Mikel Arteta is gonna go and potentially win a league. Yeah, so for him to say that, it's like." I have to just put that down to his age because I'm like, bro, you have absolutely no idea, not enough experience in this game to know that when you're at that top level, things are going to get different.
No, it can come down to his age for sure. But the last point on this is like, well, how much must it boil your piss if you're complaining about these things? And that's exactly what Arsenal, they turn up, they waste time, they get one goal. There's nothing in the game, but 3 points. Like how much, like,
it's head loss.
It's head loss. Like
head loss.
But
that's the contrast.
That's why I want to talk by Conor McGregor. It's Conor telling you in the press conference, "Who are you? I'm gonna knock you out. I'm gonna do all of this," and then he gets into the cage and he knocks you out. Exactly like he said he was gonna. Exactly.
Time wasting, 1-0, deflecting goal, all of that.
Exactly.
But that's why I think the contrast is interesting because after the game, what Fabian Hurzeler probably should have done.
Kudos.
Well done, Arsenal. They defended well.
That's the young imitation. That's Arteta. It's a disgrace.
And
that's the same thing. It's a disgrace.
It's a disgrace. But that's what you probably should have done. And then, because then everything you say before the game, I can just put down to the
tactics strategy.
tactical.
Yeah.
But to go from before the game to tactical stuff to now after the game, that is just head loss. Like, your team got beat, bro. Fabian Hurzeler comes in a press conference and he's like, if I ask everyone in this room if they enjoyed the game, not only one person puts their hand up because they're a massive Arsenal fan. Everyone else not a chance.
So
who cares?
Do you think Fabian Hurzeler is watching tape then of this match? I think that's also another point that we have to consider is...
Yeah, I think Fabian Hurzeler. The other point, lastly, that might be something is, I don't know, because Fabian Hurzeler does seem like the kind of guy to pick a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I feel like
Arteta does. I think Arteta hates him the most of all managers in the league.
So even though Fabian Hurzeler's 31,
well, Pep might be up there.
Yeah. Even though Fabian Hurzeler's 31, I think he's got to this point for a reason. He's obviously good, but I think he's chosen to pick a fight with a manager in the league. He's looked at the other 19 managers, and I think we'll only know this when we play Brighton
in time.
Year.
Because that's a shock.
Right? Because if we play Brighton next year and Fabian Hurzeler comes on the same type of stuff about I will never be, because that's a disrespectful thing to say about Mikel Arteta. Yeah, to say I'll never be a manager. But if he comes on it again, then I think he's picked Mikel Arteta as okay. This is gonna be my fight.
I'm happy, bro, for an Arteta Hurzeler rivalry. Calm. Let's run that.
Okay,
let's run that.
You know, if I could have picked any manager for Arteta not to beef,
it would have been Hurzeler,
right? But that's just Arsenal, and that's how I knew that this was gonna happen. Yeah, but look, those are Hurzeler's comments. It is what it is. Let us know what you think about what Hurzeler was saying in the comments and whatever. Obviously, Man City, they led twice to Forest. They drew Vitor Pereira. Massive result for Forest. It's a big point.
Massive result for Forest.
They came from behind twice. Obviously, we can talk about relegation battle later when we get to Tottenham and stuff. On the City side,
it's crazy. It's a really bad one.
It's a gut punch.
It's as bad as our Wolves one, and Forest are a better team than Wolves. But you're playing Forest at home and they're down there. Yeah, those are meant to be gimmies. Those are meant to be 3 points in the bag. You've gone 1-0 up. You've gone 2-1 up. So you've already fought back on Forest's little fight back. Yeah. Real champions, real minerals, real this, real that. They they go and they get it done, you know. So it's and you know what it is as well. It's in terms of the wind in City cells, maybe not so for the players. I know the players will fight till the end, but the wider audience, the wider fandom, the wider pressure on Arsenal, I think the valve loosens or releases a little bit, because if City draw or drop points in this one, like, do they really go? I think there was that assumption that City just go perfect to the end of the season.
Yeah.
They've got Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. They've got West Ham away. Yeah. They've got Villa. You know, so it's like, well, if you're going to draw to Nottingham Forest at home, who are not in the best of form, Vitor's lost his first 2 games, despite them playing well. Lost his first 2 games. How much confidence can you have?
And also those, like you say about kind of a bit of breathing room and a gap and whatever, those previous Man City teams that Arsenal fans will remember well, those winning runs that they would go on, Liverpool fans as well, those winning runs that they'll go on towards the end of the season, 15, 16 game winning runs or whatever it was, like
unbeaten
23,
runs or whatever.
We went 15-1-1, they went 16-1-0.
Yeah.
Like that robotic machine that just doesn't slip up.
Isn't there?
Right? Because Forest at home, like you say, that should be a gimme for a team like Man City who want to go and win the league. The fact that they've not beaten Forest, and also there's no 10-game winning run for Man City, bro. They have 9 games left. Yeah, there's none of this 10, 11, 12 that people are hoping for. And like you say, if you've dropped points at Forest, you drop points again. Like, obviously, it sounds like so simple, but you drop points again, there's 8 games left. Like, this winning run,
they're
like,
really,
how many games? It's max 9.
No, they're really, like, when you talk about last chance, they're really on their last. They actually kind of, guys were saying that they had to be perfect before.
Yeah.
Now they really have to be perfect. Yeah. And still bank on us failing or bottling a little bit. So they've put themselves in a really, really difficult position. But for me, it's interesting, as we were saying, when you feed back on some of their previous games. The Newcastle game and the Leeds game, there is massive celebrations at the end of those games. Massive celebrations to the crowd, to the fans. We're in this fight, and they are in this fight still.
I'm pretty sure someone was crying after
They're in this fight still, yeah. But that's, they were doing that kind of stuff, which was giving people the hope that, yeah, this team is back. They're here. They're on it. They're going to go on and just go and win these games. It's a gut punch. It's a sucker punch. It starts to look a bit fugazi. It starts to look a bit crazy when you were going so hard, celebrating so much earlier on in the season for some of these results that now you start to pull into question.
Yeah.
So the mentality of City is going to be tested. I was looking at Bernardo Silva's face at the end of the game, and it was a dark stare into the distance.
I mean, Rodri, yeah. I don't know have you seen his celebration when he scored?
No, lost his shit.
It's a Rodri celebration.
Yeah.
Because we've seen Rodri.
I've seen those.
Score massive.
Massive
goals. Yeah. In Premier League title races in March, April, May, and we know how Rodri celebrates those goals. So Rodri is celebrating that goal when they go 2-1 up, like
all
of that goes to 2-2. You talk about Bernardo's face at the end, Rodri's face. It was surprise. Like normally when I scored this goal, wheels are rolling done. Look, it's a different team.
But I think this is and shout out Pep. You never really like to shout out Pep, but shout out Pep for kind of quieting the noise around the level of the league and all this stuff. And this proves it. Like Forest are down there. Forest haven't had the best of season, but this Forest team has quality in it. And this is what Pep was talking about.
Bro, do you remember what I said when we drew there?
Yeah.
I was like, bro, this isn't a 17th place
and
team.
This is, like, everyone's been saying it as well. Some other guys have been saying it, but, like, this is what Pep is talking about when he's like, it's not easy. like, everyone's talking like it's just so easy. Like, Elliot Anderson can put it into the bottom corner from 25, 30 yards out. Like, Gibbs White can pin a defender, back heel between the legs, sneak past Donnarumma.
Dom Solanke.
Like, if there is a lot of quality in this league. There's a lot of results that we look at someone and we're like, I can't believe you've done this and this has happened. But man, that's a quality team.
I think that's a perfect segue because look, there's going to be more twists and turns in the title race. Nothing is done yet. There's still a lot of football to be played. But if Arsenal go on to do what they should do this week or this Wednesday, I saw some guy saying this is top 3 Wednesdays of all time. But
he's right though.
but this result will be seismic. Yeah. But Arsenal, like I said, there's a lot of football to be played, still twists and turns. Now, you're talking about quality all over the league and Pep quieting down the noise. And I would argue that nothing will tell you that more than the team rock bottom of the table beating the champions. So we'll go to the race for Champions League football, which is probably going to be the top 5 places. Unfortunately, top 4 would be if 2 of them had to miss out. But
I know. What does it take though? They keep saying we're pretty sure.
Yeah, we'll have to the English teams will have to fail pretty majorly in Champions League and Europa
I'm
League.
expecting. We speak about it off air, but I'm expecting Atleti to beat Tottenham.
Yeah,
I'm expecting PSG to beat Chelsea,
Barca to beat Newcastle, but then you got us, City, and Liverpool. Yeah. And obviously the City one's up in the air, but us and Liverpool will probably go through. And us and Liverpool, obviously, if we go to the quarters, you got to then think Aston Villa they should be at the semis of the Europa.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace should be at the semis of the conference.
Yeah.
All of that kind of comes
does it all factor in?
Yeah. That's why last year, because remember last year there was, who was in the Man United and Tottenham both got to the final. Arsenal pushed to the Champions League semi-finals. And Chelsea won the Conference League.
Yeah.
And then obviously we got all of these teams
tilted the scales
this year in the 5th spot. Okay. So I think it is pretty certain. But look, Liverpool went to Molineux to play the super team Wolves, which after Villa I was like, maybe super.
No, Rob Edwards has these guys. I don't know what has changed in Jan of 2026.
Bro, it was a nothing game for 70 minutes. And I say nothing game. It was a nothing game for Liverpool for 70 minutes because they did nothing. But watching that game, having played Wolves, having seen Rob Edwards at Luton and what he did there, I know that 70 minutes is an everything game for Rob Edwards. It's just keep this at 0-0, keep this at 1-0. We'll take it to the last 10, 20. And that's on Liverpool as the better team, as the champions to go and stop that.
Yeah, Wolves they're turning it around a bit because I didn't watch the first 70 minutes of the game. But when I saw that it was still 0-0 with 20 or so minutes to go, I was like, well, I'm not sure if
And you can imagine what that would have looked like for 70.
But like, I didn't necessarily think that Wolves were going to win, but I didn't necessarily think that Liverpool were going to win. There's certain places where it's like, oh, it's still 0-0 after 70 minutes, but for sure this team are going to get a goal. And that would have been Wolves earlier on in the season. But after our result, after the Villa result, after a couple of the Man United result, all this kind of stuff that Wolves have been building, I'm looking at the Molineux as like a place that you don't want it to be 0-0 with 20 minutes to go. And there's a lot of those in the league, but bottom of the table Wolves, you know, shouldn't be one. Like, it should be one of those where I'm like, yeah, I'm happy because I was still going to win this. The way Okadare has just shifted Van Dijk.
You don't need to tell me.
Yeah,
respect Tolu.
The way he's just shifted Van Dijk, fed this guy, yeah, go get Rodrigo Gomez, go.
The pass to Rodrigo Gomez is top.
Quality up and down the league. Like, I'm looking, that's a big man.
Finish.
That's a big man, little man duo.
Just outside of the foot.
Yeah, to the corner.
Konate, I know Konate thinks he's getting there. Konate thinks,
he's right.
he's going to hit this with his left foot because Konate slows down. He slows down. And then Liverpool obviously come back into it. Salah
goal. When they said that was his first goal since November or whenever it was,
longest ever drought in the Premier. I think it was 11 games or something.
No, but respect Salah's thing, top whatever, all time, all this kind of stuff. He will get his praise. But when I've seen that Salah's now getting like his GAs in 2-1 losses to bottom of the table teams, it's really rock bottom. Yeah. Like, it's really, because Salah used to just have the exact same performance, but that goal's a winner. That goal saves them a point. Yeah. For him to now be doing this kind of stuff in 2-1 losses away from home to the worst team in the league, it's like, all right, man, what more of a sign do I need that I need to hit rock bottom? And that could be his like 4th or 5th goal of the season.
Yeah, I think it's 5 goals he's got. And yeah, look, I mean, Wolves come back. They scored a late winner. Absolute dagger.
I don't know what Alisson is doing as well.
Fans. Kicking it out. Andre, little sidestep left foot off Joe Gomez. into the back of the net. And you've spoken on Salah there, and I do want to have a bit of a conversation on Liverpool, but just quickly on Wolves, bro, they've got some quality players. Like, we're talking about quality up and down the league, but this is the team bottom of the league. This is the team that
still with nothing to play for. No, but
maybe
until they get one more win or 2 more, still with nothing to play for.
They're a long way off, especially with obviously Nuno, which we'll get into. But obviously there's quality in the league, but I'm looking at like the midfield 3 and the obviously you said you didn't watch the first 17 minutes, but the interchange between like Andre, João Gomez, like Andre and João Gomez. I don't want to take this too far, but top 6 club, no.
Bro, Andre gives me such.
João Gomez definitely.
Andre gives me such. Do you remember when Everton signed Allen?
Yeah.
From
Carlo.
Napoli.
My guy. Alan was good, bro.
But Alan was good.
He is that.
He's just so similar to that guy, and he will disappear into the ether, just like Alan did. After this season, he's just gonna disappear into the ether, and he's done.
Go back to Brazil.
He's done his time. He had his stint. He scored that 1 goal against Liverpool.
There will be a rebel. But honestly, bro, like, he's a good player. We've been on João Gomez watch for a couple of seasons. João Gomez is a good player. I think João Gomez could play. He's been linked with Tottenham.
Yeah, Okadara needs a move. Okadara should be staying in the league. He should be staying in the league. I might even try and keep their Mosquera. Like he was showing me some stuff in that game, some long balls, some decent clearances, winning of the headers. You might need to stay around.
Yeah, let's not take it too far. Let's start talking about Jackson Chachua. I saw
Jose Sa like going crazy on the celebrations, and I was like, it's time to end Jose Sa.
Brazilian. Alright, look, we're gonna move it on. Sorry, no, we're not gonna move on. We do need to talk about Liverpool because
it's dark.
We were hot on Liverpool at the start of the season, whatever, they can't get away with it, whatever. But because of Arsenal and what we spoke about at the top of the show and the narrative needing to be around Arsenal being boring because nobody wants to see Arsenal succeed. It's taking away from just how bad. Yeah, this because now it's like we have to be careful with this because now it's like people are looking at Liverpool's season and saying, Champions League.
Yeah.
right? And it's like if Liverpool get Champions League,
They've done well. They've done all right, actually. If you think about it in the long term grand scheme of things.
you know what I'm saying?
No.
But that's not what it is.
No, you spent 500 million.
You
You
know
were
what
the
I'm
Premier League
saying?
champions.
Like, if you get Champions League, you failed. Yeah, that's a failure. Yeah, that's how Liverpool fans,
especially 5th place. Like that is, it's scumming your way into it, bro. You're lucky that there's this like Super League thing that they've been able to introduce with these more teams in the Champions League. Like you haven't done enough to finish in the top 4 potentially after winning the league and spending 500 million in the summer. And we were doing the fixtures and stuff, and we had them sort of semi in the driving seat.
Yeah.
And you go and lose to bottom of the league Wolves.
Yeah.
I don't care about who's out there and who's injured and who's this and who's that. Like bro, Onslaught, I'm starting to think that he might get 5th and not keep his job.
Yeah.
You know? Like I'm starting to think he might get Champions League football and not keep his job.
I think the only way Onslaught can have a case to keep his job is if he wins a trophy.
So
the FA Cup. Champions League.
Yeah.
Because obviously FA Cup or Champions League, whatever.
I don't think they've got it in the
yeah. Like, but I mean, at this stage,
you never know.
to call anyone in the Champions League. But like that is the only way I can see it happening, because this is disgraceful, man. Like, you've spoken on Salah, yeah, and Salah you can put to the side.
Rock bottom.
Gakpo,
Gackers clearance off the line. Yeah, that one was nasty. Yeah. I couldn't believe that one in the clip.
I haven't seen prime Van Dijk, prime Terry, prime Rio, prime Carvalho make that clearance. I haven't seen any of them make that clearance. Curtis Jones has just did that. He's about to go off and celebrate.
Yeah, real.
And Gakpo's big toe this way, coming that way. Yeah.
It's worse than the Choupo-Moting one. I'm telling you, it's worse than the Choupo-Moting one.
Choupo-Moting one.
No. It's this one is
the Choupo-Moting one's on the floor.
No, the Choupo one is bad.
It's on the floor.
That one's going in. Yeah, but Curtis Jones has this one in the back of the net. If he hits any part of his body, it's going into the back of the net.
But at least Gakpo's looking up here.
I also swear Choupo-Moting corrals the ball backwards. I swear to God, he's
to the post. But yeah.
Anyway,
So Gakker's shocking.
Gackers.
Who the Ekatike poor in this game, but he's done his thing. And obviously whatever they want to say about Florian Wirtz, whatever. Steven Gerrard's making the point that Rio Ngamota has to start. He has to come into the team.
No, he's their brightest spark.
He looks like the most dangerous player when he comes on. He obviously hit the post, but yeah, man, like Liverpool fans, obviously, you want to get Champions League and you want to make sure you're there for next season, but this season has been an absolute shit show, to be honest.
I also think
90th minute.
Yeah, the most by anybody. Yeah. I saw that.
5 of them now,
which just speaks to the mentality thing, man.
You want to talk about bottling it? You want to talk
about
a
mentality thing? Is bad, and I can't decide. Honestly, you might have to tell me about who you would want to see fall out of the top 5 more between Liverpool and Chelsea potentially. Like for me, it's a toss of a coin.
Yeah.
And I still lean more towards Liverpool.
It's tough.
It would be so funny, but I'm even coming to the point now where like Liverpool just looks so fractured as a not football club. They've got stuff to look forward to in the future. Isak, Ekatike, Wirtz, all this kind of stuff. But there just seems to be this like the whole like transition between the old guard to the new guard thing hasn't really worked out as well as they would have hoped. Like I'm thinking, even if they get top 5, does Salah stay? Like is Salah enjoying what's happening right now?
Yeah.
You know, is he ready to run this back next season, or does he start to look at the Saudi deal or whatever other deal as like a?
Yeah, I think Salah might go.
You feel me? So it's like I only wanted them to get Europa League if it meant that I get to see Salah and Van Dijk.
Yeah.
Whoa. You know?
Whoa.
But now it's like, as I say, and I really want to keep Chelsea honest. I don't want Chelsea to do this scumbag thing of have an awful league campaign, reset the whole project, but then go and win the Europa League and call themselves European champions again, and
then get Champions League football from
and they're the best team in the league and all this kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, because of what Unai Emery is doing, which is classic, which should have been predicted. Unai Emery's probably at a point going to put all chips on the Europa League.
On Europa League.
Yeah, and then that will.
But I think that might be the most embarrassing, honestly.
It will be. It will. We said on this pod, yeah, and we made sure we said it when Unai Emery was 10.
Yeah.
If he bottles Champions League from here, it's a disgrace. It's shocking.
It's the worst.
Right? Because we were saying as much as the top 4 races throwing it up and chalking it up, you had a 12-point buffer. Yeah. So to lose the 12th place, buffer, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I think for Liverpool, it's dark. And out of the two of them,
Konate's not signed a new deal, has he, as well?
Yeah. No, Konate hasn't signed, yeah. But yeah, out of the two of them, I think, I don't know, if João Pedro doesn't want to play Europa League football, I think Chelsea.
Food chain.
Chelsea. So,
food chain.
No, we spoke with Chelsea Villa a bit there, so we may as well just go to them next. And Unai Emery.
A great game. Honestly, great game.
This, when we put the numbers in the supercomputer, not only did we predict Liverpool to beat Wolves, I think.
Yeah.
But I predicted Villa to win this game. I think you said
Yeah. I've got Rodgers in.
Yeah, luckily I brought Gordon in as well, though. But yeah, Rodgers stinking the gaff up.
He should have had an assist. Watkins.
Yeah, I don't know why he's offside there. I don't know why Tammy Abraham's not playing, to be honest.
Watkins was awful.
Yeah, but Chelsea batter
Aston Villa. Yeah.
And we'll come back
home.
We'll come back to the
Villa's place.
Agreed. Wednesday night. Who wants to go to Villa Park on a Wednesday night? It's a Chelsea.
Not me.
Chelsea do.
Not me. Yeah.
Right?
Pedro does for sure.
Yeah. So we'll come back to the Emery point, but João Pedro, unbelievable. Like, you want to watch like a number 9 round
it's a great performance.
You can watch the 90 minutes, not just the goals. Like the first goal, the striker's goal tap in, second goal, nice little dink chip finish, third goal tap in. Villa's highlight is
ridiculous.
It was nuts. But outside of that, what João Pedro is doing in the game, what he's offering Chelsea in the game.
No, João Pedro is top quality, and there is a change under Rosinha, evidently.
I think Liam Rosinha.
I was about to give him his credit
because up until this point, and not just Liam Rosinha, Chelsea fans have been saying it's an issue with Maresca and going back previous about beating big teams away from home. Yeah. Now, obviously, the Villa aren't kind of in that of the big six stuff.
Yeah.
But Villa Park's nothing to sniff at. We lost there.
Yeah,
one of our 3 losses this whole season in all competitions.
Yeah.
Man City lost there.
Yeah.
Like. Liam Rosinha for sure, and that combines with the João Pedro thing.
No, it's true. It's one and the same thing because obviously Liam Rosinha is putting a battery in João Pedro's back to get him at this level. Whatever he's whispering and telling him and all this kind of stuff is working. But the credit I want to give Rosinha is, do you remember when I was telling you after the Arsenal game to listen to Rosinha's interview? He was saying in the interview, he was like, "Look, obviously it looks kind of bleak now. We haven't won in 3 games." You know, we're 3 points off Liverpool and all this kind of stuff, yeah. But he was like, the thing is, we play these teams in and around us. He was like, that is the benefit. We play them. He wasn't hiding or shying away from the fact that we can do a number on these teams and move on. Like, directly taking points off Villa is a 6-pointer, the same way it would be a 6-pointer down in the relegation or, you know, at the title race or whatever it is. Stopping Villa this week, 3 points up on them. Liverpool lose, like he's still got to play Liverpool, I think, or you know,
they all got to play each other.
Yeah, you feel me? So
literally all 4 of those teams.
He got it spot on today with the João Pedro selection, with Cole Palmer,
Reece James.
Garnacho was doing his best to fuck up this game, bro. Garnacho
I thought he was balling.
No, he was giving me very big.
I mean, Matty Cash got hooked at half time.
Yeah, and no, Matty Cash needed to be hooked from half time. But
I mean, the end product, that's just always going to be gone.
That's what's frustrating me the most is, bro, guys are creating 3v2s and getting you into these positions, and he'll play a pass. He'll play a pass to Enzo, at the edge of the area, even though he's had a chance to skin his fullback. And he'll get mad at Enzo for not giving him that back in a one. I'm like, bro, Enzo's like, take on your fullback, shoot. Yeah. Anyway.
But I mean, look, he had Matty Cash on strings.
Besides,
Emery had to take him off. But yeah, look, I think
I give Rosinha a lot of credit though. He said that, like, mentally he's telling these Chelsea fans, as much as where guys might have us down and out or wherever it is, if we go and beat these teams, we get to where we need to be.
Yeah.
And this goes a long way, you know.
But I think this is a result that everybody, neutral fan, everybody has to sit up and take notice. Because like Villa Park is a tough place to
And
go.
they don't lose a lot there, bro.
Yeah, 100%. I think last season they lost one game there. That was us.
Yeah. Early Trossard, yeah.
So they don't lose a lot there. Obviously, and Villa have been on a poor run recently, but to go there and beat them like that in their stadium,
it's big.
And the way that Chelsea played, the way that Liam when they went 1-0 down after 5 minutes,
I thought it was over.
Freeze and pause.
The Reece James mistake leading into the second goal that was disallowed for Villa. I thought that was it. Those 5 minutes, I thought that was it. I was thinking, man, as much as I wanted Chelsea to win the game and I was a blue, because I wanted the top 4 or 5 race to be what it is now, it was so good to see a Reece James mistake, Rodgers, Watkins, the way Rossinha was reacting, and James's head in his hands. He can't believe he's let his team down. Anyway, for them to come back and win it, just let me know the importance and pressure that Rossinha was able to instill onto the Chelsea boys to get at this game, even after the Arsenal defeat, even after not winning in 3 games.
Yeah.
There wasn't
the bounce back. It couldn't have been any better. And 100% Liam Rossinha, because if they'd lost this game, I think Chelsea fans were saying themselves, it's probably done. Because if they'd lost, the gap to Villa would have been 9, right? Like you say, 6-pointer. Now it's 3. Instead of 9.
And you're 11 on points with Liverpool. They fucked up. They didn't beat Wolves.
Yeah. And Man United, who we can talk about, because Michael Carrick,
first loss,
welcome,
to
the Premier League, the Premier, Premier League,
Carrick gets
humble, because the Eddie Howe test, and the St James's Park test is a test that stands the test of time,
real talk.
Because Michael, he wasn't giving St James's Park the hope. He'd lost faith. Newcastle performances had him on the downer.
Yeah.
Like, bro, St James's Park, believe. You know the Robbie video. Believe, bro. But they've gone down to 10 men, and at half time, I'm thinking, especially because Man United have got back in the game, I'm thinking, maybe Michael's right. This is Newcastle.
That's what I was saying the whole time.
That first half, I was so confident. Yeah, second half back.
But that's why I was telling you, I'm like, I think I'm done counting out Eddie Howe. Like as soon as I try and come to the table, and I'm like, he's done. It's over for him. He's got to go. And I was well, trust me, I was thinking that.
Yeah, it was also counting out the team
when I'm seeing the red card. When I'm seeing how it's all sort of unfolding, as you say, Man United get the equaliser, all this kind of stuff. I'm just expecting them to go on and get something in the second half. I'm thinking, like, Newcastle, how many games can you lose at home?
Throw away.
Like, how many games can you lose at home? And this win, I don't know.
But that's it. But again, like, respect to Newcastle fans, as we usually do here, that second half, they pushed the team through. Like, United fans talking about the game, they're saying they look like they had 11 men.
City have to go there, bro.
Yeah, 8 p.m.
Bro,
like,
they have a Madrid game.
But then, like, it was weird. The second half happened, obviously, to go through the game, games that Jacob Ramsey gets sent off, disgrace, by the way.
I'm torn on this, man. I'm torn on
Jacob
this.
Ramsey has not dived there. He's not appealed for a pen. He's not.
I agree. He hasn't appealed for a pen.
To me, after he's kind of jumped over,
there's a double step.
Lamans,
I know. I see that one.
And
you go down on a double step.
It looks like his foot kind of slides a bit. And then he's just lying on the floor like this. He's not.
He's not
doing any of that.
But to referees, is that not all in the same thing?
But I mean, to come and give him a second yellow, I feel like
it's harsh. You don't need to ruin the game.
If you're going to send someone off for simulation, you need to be sure. Because that's not something that in the current state of the game that can get reviewed. VAR can't check that and say, oh no, he actually hasn't.
The reason I can't say it's a disgrace is because if he has slipped, like, is there a difference to a referee between slipping and diving?
There should be.
I know there should be, but is there? Like, you've got a second to make a decision, and you think the keeper's not made a touch on him, but you've seen the player go down to, like, quote unquote, pretend as if he is, like, it's down to the fourth official or the linesman. I don't know what side of the thing he's won. That's why I'm torn on this, because I agree, like, real time, I actually thought it was a pen.
Yeah.
So when I'm seeing the replay and seeing that he's actually not been touched, I'm not saying that it's a dive, because I agree he's not done enough to be like, ref, what? You know, but he's not done the Raheem Sterling.
I almost feel like the dive the dive needs to be coupled with the appeal. Right, because if you dive and you just sit there, like Jacob, he's an innocent bystander.
But
he's looking up. He's thinking,
going to ground, not the dive. Like I agree that the appeal is
has he slipped?
The appeal is ironclad stamped. He's looking for something because he's calling for something.
He's trying to cheat.
Was
Jacob Ramsey trying to cheat the referee?
Would Jacob Ramsey have protested if the ref gave it?
Depends.
Yeah. And I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's like,
but fine. Let the ref give it,
and let VAR get in
VAR,
and let VAR do the thing.
You overturn the pen, but you also can see that Jacob Ramsey has, or that there's no intent to cheat.
I just think it's one of these decisions that is
it just ruined. Well, obviously not.
I just think it's one of these, and I hear you in the sense of in the real time. I thought it's ruined this game. Newcastle 10 men, discipline issues, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, but. I'm also just thinking, like, is that just not football? Like a split-second decision.
Mistake. Yeah.
And I agree, it can be labeled as a mistake, but it's like he feels as if he's got to make a decision because he's seen a player go to ground, and he feels as if the keeper hasn't done enough. He's maybe got a word from his linesman or whatever it is. I hear it's the wrong decision, but I can't go as far to say it's, it's not like the Newcastle, as I say, Arteta is a disgrace. Like when we was up there, there's two hands in the back and all this kind of stuff. Has the ball gone out? The fact that they're so close together.
The disgrace thing is more of an emotional thing because
it shouldn't be a red.
I at the time I thought he'd ruined the spectacle.
Yeah.
Little did I know he's
10 times 10x, 100x.
But at the time I was just like, this is just like. This has the potential to be such a great
game.
Half.
Yeah.
And you've decided to send him off, and I think referees need to be a bit more careful with like how sure they are
on this.
That a player.
I just think that VAR should be allowed for second yellows or yellows. Full stop. Like the
that
ref
would be the easiest thing.
The ref has to like give him a second chance to have a look at that decision, as you say, when he can slow this down and we can sort of semi-remove the pressure of making a split-second decision and being like, well, all right, it isn't a foul, but it isn't a dive. Like that stuff is nuanced, as opposed to forcing a guy to make a decision in the moment. But to the point of,
obviously after that,
I was just gonna say the Man United second half is the epitome of and I know they only play once a week or whatever it is, but it's the epitome of playing too many games. Like that second half is our second half of the Brighton, is what we were talking about in the Brighton side of the game, where it was like, that's all about mentality. It doesn't need to be beautiful football. It doesn't need to be, passages of play and passing stuff, and Carrick has got the boys shifting it and moving it and X, Y, and Z. But if you're mentally strong, you don't lose to a team with 10 men who for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Agreed.
Full stop. So that's why I say when the structuring and the schedule of the league,
second time Man United have done
100%. It's the structuring and the schedule of the league and all this kind of stuff. And Man United were approaching that second half as if it was a gimme, as if it was, we can like just half-ass our way through this and still get 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, I remember in the second half, I looked up at the clock and it was like 66 minutes in, and I was like, oh shit, nothing has happened. Nothing's happened.
Yeah,
like these 20 minutes, I actually can't tell you. I don't even know how much the ball's been in play.
Real.
Like, if you want to get a ball in play stat, time wasting and that.
Real.
Like, it just, I looked up and it was like, oh, damn, there's only like 20 minutes left.
Yeah.
Like, and then I was like, really starting to believe that Newcastle looked a bit threatening. And
there was that golden chance at the back post.
But, Bruno Fernandes, he obviously gets another assist for the goal on this charge that, obviously, I don't think he's going to do it, but on this charge to get the assist record.
They're saying it's cursed.
Yeah. But from the 70th minute till the 85th minute, I think Bruno Fernandes has created 3 chances that should just end up in the back of the net, like clear cut as day, and as clear as you want.
But United's
the Euro header.
Bruno's done his thing, as I expect of Bruno. Like, he's given away a penalty, but he's supreme creator on the back end. I'm gonna have 5 chances to make up for the penalty, quote unquote mistake.
Go on.
But I was gonna say, Man United's squad depth, like, and that doesn't negate the chances need to be put away by the players on the pitch, because it's not even a professional thing at that point.
Especially, the one Bruno's put for your.
Yeah, it's 5 yards out. There should be anybody should be able to head that in. Good contact or no good contact?
Martin Lisandro should be able to get up and head that in.
But yeah, for me, the United squad depth outside of, and I was asking the question. I was asking my brother. I forgot Mason Mount plays. Where is Mason Mount?
Yeah.
And it's not that Mason Mount might come in and make a difference or whatever it is, but I'm like, I'm looking at them. I'm like, so who are they going to bring on to change this? And he's brought on Diallo, and Diallo's not really made that much of a difference. And, and that can happen. Like, Diallo's a good player. It's nothing on him. It's like some games he makes an effect, some games he doesn't. That's
it's
football.
a tough one. Yeah.
But who's the other guy then?
Yeah.
Who's the other roll of the dice? Or
But when you play one game a week, like,
do you need that many people?
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if you play one game a week, you're just making people unhappy if your squad
is that big. But I think the squad is like 12 players, though.
Yeah,
like 13 players.
It's short. in midfield, but again, that, like we spoke about at the time, the way Amorim built the squad.
Can I tell you how shocked I was when I saw Malacia coming on?
Yeah, off a double knee up.
I didn't think Malacia was still in the club. Rashford's best friend.
I don't know why at St. James's. I mean, look, Michael Carrick, your changes
cost you the game.
They cost you the game.
Cost you the game.
Guys were saying that Ahmad and Xerxes should have come on earlier. Casemiro should have stayed on. He brought Casemiro off quite early. But before we get to the main man, right? Because United deserved the sucker punch they got for the performance they put in second half. Was just. But before we get onto the main man, we had a conversation when we were talking about this fixture about Nick Pope.
I knew you were gonna bring this. I was about to say.
And Aaron Ramsdale.
Ramsdale played well,
right? And I said that Pope is probably still better than Ramsdale. We'll probably say that. Pope has been so shit. Yeah. And then we watched the Everton highlights, and it's taken Nick Pope 4 years to get off the ground and get back to where Beto's burying the ball. I said, but and we were talking about, bro, he's that. I'll go for a stroll.
Beto's not made the run till after Pope has made this.
There's no run to make. Pope's parried that back here for you. Yeah. And we were talking about it, and we were like, "Oh, maybe we need to change the park and whatnot." But I was like, "But Pope is just—he's gifted this shit, bro. Like Newcastle have got to score 2 goals. They've worked so hard to score those 2 goals against Everton, and Pope is just gifting this shit, to other teams." So I've said, Ramsdale has to come in, because even if Pope's better than him, you just have to change it. He's directly just costing you points every week. And Ramsdale comes in. And he had one of those Ramsdale games that we, as Arsenal fans, used to love.
100%.
That save from Xerxes.
But you know what?
Top
United fans, so United players, they played into the Ramsdale game. Like, Ramsdale he's a good shot stopper. He's a great shot stopper. Yeah. But if that's all you make him do, then he will have this game.
Yeah. And if he starts getting into the game mentally.
If that's all you make him do, like that Xerxes chance, it's a great shot, it's a great save, but that is Ramsdale's bread and butter. If you start asking him to claim crosses all the time and make him, all this kind of stuff, have him charge out at 1v1s, you'll see mistakes.
I can't lie, the resulting corner from the Xerxes shot was the most worried I was in the whole game.
You feel me?
We know Ramsdale.
You feel
After
me?
You've made that save, you're on cloud 9, you're going to think you're going to come and claim this with 2 hands.
You
get nowhere near it.
But you cannot take away from how good he was actually really for them. He did what he needed to do, was
the
to stop
Euro
the shots.
Euro's got it on target. But he has saved it. And the main man, you want to talk about managerial substitutions. Eddie Howe, I think he managed that game perfectly. Substitutions at the right time, energy on the pitch when he needed some more energy. The ball, I don't know who it is. Someone plays a sloppy pass to Bruno Fernandes. William Osula intercepts it. It goes to Kieran Trippier. He makes the run. Now, when he's making the run and he picks up the ball, I think he's going to fall over because he stumbles. And I'm like, no, please. He chops inside Malacia.
Tween.
Yeah. No. Look, come on. For Malacia. Tween.
Tween.
No, not for Malacia. No. For Malacia. For Malacia, it's a side.
It's just a body feint.
The Maguire, now we can do some tween. Yeah, come on. We're not going to tween a guy off a double knee off.
Those are some of the largest step overs. The circumference of those step overs, some of the largest step overs I've ever seen in football.
100%. Mahrez is quaking.
Yeah.
So he cuts inside Malasio. He cuts inside Harry Maguire. And the
finish
shot
is
of
nuts.
his left foot.
And the TV angle, shout out to whoever had that TV angle,
yeah.
as soon as it left his boot.
Yeah, in Michael Carrick's pre-match interview, he spoke about, obviously, St. James's Park and the test that is. And he's like, we need to be ready because this stadium can throw up things that
you've never seen.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he was aware. Obviously, as a Geordie, you'd expect him to know. But yeah, the Osula dagger, Newcastle see the game out, and it's
massive for Newcastle.
It's
man.
massive
for
Newcastle.
Really
it's massive for Newcastle. But I don't really know what Newcastle what's the max they can achieve? Maybe
no.
League?
So I was looking at the table, and it is Europa League, and I do think Europa League is kind of semi big for them. Like, considering the season and the start and the summer window and everything that they've had, and they've still lost to like 4 or 5 games at home and all this kind of stuff. Like, if they can find a way to get into Europa League, I think it's a stalemate. Like, we haven't progressed. We had a trophy and a top 4 finish or top 5 finish last season, which is like the best season we've ever had. But maybe not a stalemate. That's stalemate is like the same again. But if Newcastle get into the Europa League, I'm not all the way. I think Eddie Howe's done a good job. I'm not all the way mad at it.
I think they'll take that. I think they'll be quite.
And then they're not. It's not confirmed. It's not like it's a guarantee or a shoe. They have to win a lot of games between now and then. But that win, at least, I think they're like 1 or 2 points off 40 points, and there's like 3 teams on 40 points.
Yeah. And especially with the fixtures that they've got in March, Man City up next tomorrow. Then they've got Barcelona.
They've
got Chelsea in there. They've got some big fixtures, and I think they've got the Sunderland as well at home in the derby. So, but on the Man United side, obviously that's Carrick's first loss. I think that's their first loss for eight games or whatever. It's at St. James's Park. Is like that can happen in terms of Man United in the top 4 race. I think for Man United fans,
it's a blow, but you
just
eat it and move on.
You've been on such a good run. You were going to lose a game at some point.
Exactly.
You
eat it and move on.
To lose at St. James's Park is it's not no real slight on you, especially if you're just a team trying to get.
I do think though the 10-man thing, it just it raises the slight like yellow red flag of, well, where is this mentality at? Are we gonna trail off? Not trail off, but I would just be concerned about where the mentality is at.
You know. But I think they play Villa next. So massive. Massive. But look, we'll go to the relegation battle quickly before we wrap stuff up, because we've had to pod today on a Friday because
the result yesterday.
I feel like, I said we could pod yesterday or today. I feel like Michael must have known that something was in the air.
Just let the week play out.
Something was coming. Because Tottenham did obviously lose yesterday, which
I can't believe, to be honest. I really can't. I was telling my friend, I can, because Tottenham have been awful all season, but I can't.
I did think Tottenham would win this game.
Because I genuinely thought that Tottenham would win this game to tell me I'm not going to get relegated. As soon as they win this game, I can put down any...
They would have gone above Leeds.
I could put down any, it's the loss in this game, and obviously the fashion of the loss in this game is like the real reason why I can give this relegation thing any sort of leg. And I still think Tottenham might jam their way out of it somehow, some way. But it's not like they've got easy fixtures, and it's not like they've got, for me, a capable squad. Quality-wise, it's capable, but it's not like they're cohesive enough right now to not get relegated. They can, for sure.
100%. I think on that point, one of the big issues, I think, with Tottenham, is that, you can go for player for player, and they might even have a better starting 11 maybe than Forest.
Whatever.
They might have a better starting 11 than West Ham. But the thing with West Ham and Forest is those football clubs, from players to coaches to staff to fans, all are aware of the situation that they're in.
And they also want to be here.
Right. And by that, I mean they've been here before. They know what it takes. They're used to being here, especially West Ham. I know Forest had a good season last year, but they're used to that. The fan base is used to that. They know every week it's a grind.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
This ain't going to be pretty, and we need to go out there and get the job done. West Ham fans, Nottingham Forest fans, and their managers, they know that.
Yeah.
For Tottenham fans, like and I'm not getting on to Tottenham fans for leaving early yesterday, leaving before halftime, because they've seen 2 home wins.
Yeah, it's dark.
All season. They have the highest season ticket prices. They've shown their support to that Tottenham team throughout the whole season. Yeah. I'm not getting onto them for leaving. I think fair enough, bro. Like 3-1 down, you're down to 10 men at home. Thursday night, just go home, enjoy your Thursday night at yard and chill.
And have a good time.
Like, because these scrubs on the pitch are just going to continuously let you
down. Prime Barclays, but it was unfair. The stand alone
on the Thursday. We had that for Brentford. We knew
West Ham result. After all these results.
So I think the Tottenham fans, they should. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because you shouldn't be ready for that with where Tottenham are, but they're not ready for that. They don't have the kind of mentality of
siege.
Yeah. And the players certainly don't, because the player, and that I think is
the bigger thing. Yeah, it's the bigger thing. I was about to say, West Ham, where the difference between the clubs for me is, I think 90% of West Ham players actually kind of want to be at West Ham next season, obviously in the Premier League.
Yep.
Yeah, like Castellanos and all these guys, Diouf and all these guys, Mavropanos, they want to play Premier League football for West Ham next season. Yeah. I think for the Forest team, you have a couple of guys like Gibbs White and Elliot Anderson that might be wanting to move up and moving on to the top 4 and 6 battles. But for the most part, I think a lot of them want to play for Forest, and I think a lot of them, I actually just think that they have quality in the team. Yeah, like they generally just have a good team, and they've still got Europe to play for, and the Premier League sort of is going to feed into the Europe.
And you'd think that Vitor Pereira
has brought something different.
We'll probably get a lot of them to stay as well.
Yeah.
Any of the ones that were...
He's brought something different. Maybe Murillo's gelling. Hey, he's Portuguese, you know. But the Tottenham thing, where I think it gets worrying, is I think there's some players, and it's so sort of identifiable for some of them, that sort of regardless of what happens, even if Tottenham stay up,
they don't want to be there.
They don't want to be here next season.
That's a massive problem.
Like some of them are like, well, maybe it's actually easier to get my move if we go down.
Yeah.
I got the trophy. It might be easier for me to get my way out of there, my move, if we go down. And without that fighting spirit, like, you know, Tottenham will lose a lot of games.
100. We've seen it.
We'll lose a lot of games, and Wolves and these guys can beat them, and that's when it starts to get real nasty.
We make the point, like, West Ham went to Fulham and won. Yeah. And we said on the weekend, because they obviously played Liverpool on the weekend, that Nuno's he's not even tried in that one. He's written that one off. He's like, we're not coming here to get points, right? But they've gone to Fulham away. Another damning thing, Fulham at the weekend should have put 6 past Tottenham.
Yeah.
Right, and had that game wrapped up. They've gone to Fulham away and they've won 1-0, right? So Nuno's pulled it out of the bag. The result, and that result has shook everything up.
Nuno's he's just chopped a 5-point lead in 3 weeks into one.
Yeah, with a draw and a win. And a loss, isn't it?
It's just chopped it into one. The ground is
between Forest, Leeds are in there. Daniel Farker. Bro, I thought you were good. You're not good, bro. You're not good. Because Leeds still have to play West Ham. They still have to play Tottenham.
I'm telling you, the Nuno Monday morning briefs, the war room that he and his coaches are in, getting ready for the weeks ahead, the weekends.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so.
Because it's Monday. No, it's Tuesday today.
Yeah.
Wait.
What? It's Friday today, boys. But yeah. We're all over the place.
It's midweek games. So hopefully on Monday, Nuno's got the war room ready for big fixture next week.
I've got so much.
Can you imagine?
Respect.
Right? Hypothetically, Tottenham go to Anfield next. We're Tottenham fans, you know.
Yeah.
If West Ham get anything against Man City, really, even a draw, right? Win is
11 points,
yeah. And Forest have got Fulham at home. Bro, if next week, I mean, things are already dark. Tottenham fans already seem to think they're going down, and I don't think they're just saying that.
Yeah.
I think they actually.
If you watch your team,
I think they actually believe that. But there's a very real possibility next week that we go into that because then it's international break off. Or no, but there might be one more. Oh, yeah,
I even forgot there's international break coming up.
So it's Tottenham Forest before international break. Right, but you go into the Tottenham Forest game, and Tottenham could be in the relegation zone.
For me, that's all I want to see this season.
Yeah.
Like,
Is them actually?
I can't guarantee the relegation. Would be jokes. Would be all of this, but. And I know the fear factor, like if you speak to a Tottenham fan, I'm sure the fear factor is real already. Yeah. But to legitimately see Tottenham in the relegation zone and in the bottom 3 teams in this country based on performances and record.
Because up until this point, it's been Tottenham fans have been, we're not good, but
there's 3 best teams.
The other teams aren't good.
Yeah.
So if they don't win their games and we don't win our games, then we're good. Once they get into that position and they're 18th, now Tottenham fans, you have to do something.
And I think
like the pressure's been on as much as Vitor Pereira and these guys.
That's my point.
Been on Nuno.
That's my point.
To bring you guys.
If they ever get there, like we think we're not seeing fighting spirit now. Like if they ever actually get into that point where they're one of the 3 teams in red with 4 or 5 games to go, 6 games to go, does everybody really just phone? Does Van der Ven have the red card and then just say he's injured?
Yeah.
Until the end of this, he's picked up a slight knock in training, and he needs to sit out. Whilst his agent's just doing work, making sure he's good for the summer.
Yeah.
His agent's saying that the only thing you can't do between now and the end of the season is get injured.
But that's why he's got suspended. He doesn't even have to play to risk injury. But look, 2 questions. Yeah.
He's coming back injured, by the way. Sorry, from the international break. Now that that's in there, he's coming back injured from the international break.
First question: Igor Tudor played Pedro Porro at right centre back.
Yeah, clown.
Yeah. So he's played a 5-back system. He has a wing back, and he's played him centre back. Yeah, to play Archie Gray at wing back. Yeah. Now, to me, Tottenham, if I was a Tottenham fan in the position that Tottenham are in, sackable.
Yeah, clown.
Because we've at this pod, this is year 3. Yeah, from episode 1 of this pod 3 years ago, me and Michael were calling Porro a winger.
Yeah.
Exactly. So why you've got Pedro Porro back in the team now, and you've played him at right centre back to play Archie Gray at wing back is I mean, like Tottenham fans when they talk about social experiment.
There's a lot.
That's
going
the kind
on
of shit, bro. Like, how do you have a manager that puts Pedro Porro right centre back?
Tudor he honestly. Like, and this is poor analysis, but he just looks like a guy that just doesn't have it.
So my question was going to be sacked.
No, he has to be sacked. I agreed with you before when guys were saying 100%. If they lose a Crystal Palace, does he have to be sacked? He 100% has to be sacked. I don't care if it's 2 games.
Yep.
He's not gonna do it.
Not sack him.
He's not gonna do it.
Sack him. It's been absolutely shocking. I said after the
Igor Tudor's not gonna do it.
I said, could you really imagine a Tottenham manager that's lost their first game in a North London derby 4-1? Being successful.
And I was gonna
the Fulham game and the Fulham game, yeah. I think Tottenham fans kind of somewhat wrote that off a bit. The Fulham are a good team and whatever, but to now have seen West Ham go there, yeah, and we'll give Nuno his praise, and Nuno's a good manager, but West Ham are better than Fulham. The same way Tottenham might not be better, even though they might have some quality on the pitch, but West Ham have gone there and won. So it's a managerial thing. It's a problem. If Tottenham have any hopes of staying in this league, they need to sack Igor Tudor
immediately.
If they're smart about it, maybe they give him, because I mean, Tottenham should be resting players in the Champions League games against Atletico.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. What's the point?
If they're smart about it, they give Tudor the Liverpool game, because
a new manager getting the Liverpool game is nasty. But
and then you sack him.
And I agree with that. And I like logically that makes sense. But it is such a big risk with if they got a point in the Crystal Palace game, give Tudor Liverpool, get a new manager, and after that, But with the margins as fine as they are,
you can't throw away games.
You can't throw away a game week.
Like, even with a new manager, I think it's a throwaway game.
I kind of hear that, but I think I don't know, because starting off a new manager on a loss, it's like, well,
what I'm saying?
Have we just handicapped him?
Like, I think a new manager bounce can keep Tottenham in the league.
Yeah, one game, one win.
Yeah, I think 2 wins, might do it. Yeah. And so if they get a new manager bounce, which is very plausible when he wins back-to-back games,
Redknapp,
you're out of it. But Harry Redknapp is 79. He's 70.
He's better than Tim Sherwood.
79.
He's better than Tim Sherwood. Today,
he's a better manager than Tim Sherwood.
Today.
But do you want that on your conscience? Harry Redknapp
Harry Redknapp's he's in the Roy Hodgson category of like, uncle, let's really think about, and he's retired already. He's already retired.
got put in a situation.
No, he never.
as bad
But
as
when Roy was 80 something, and I'm like, how is Roy still going up and down the country every week?
Yeah.
Like Roy was calling players by their numbers. He didn't even know their names. Roy was just
it's hilarious. Yeah, guys are saying that they can't get Harry Redknapp until after the international break because Cheltenham's coming up. Tottenham fans are asking Harry Redknapp to sack off Cheltenham.
I remember
to come and manage this shit.
This is a side note. Do you remember when Roy Hodgson got cheated out at a game at Liverpool? And they were asking him if he was going to miss the game of football when he's gone. And he was like, no, I'm not going to miss the game of football when I'm gone.
He's like, what am I going to do? My wife's going to get bored of it.
Roy was killing me. Roy was be like, yeah, player number 37 played well today, I think.
Yeah.
That's going to be Redknapp. That's going to be Redknapp talking about Porro.
79. But yeah, so that was the first question. Yeah, 100% on the same page. Sack him as the goal should have been announced this morning. Welcome Tim Sherwood.
Yeah.
Second question, because I've been thinking about this a lot, and I think I finally reached an answer. Do you want
Tottenham to go down?
Yeah. Forget about unbiased opinions. Forget about what do you want them to go down?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. But I want them to go down, not just because it's like Tottenham and Arsenal and all this kind of stuff, as much as that's in it. I want this to vibrate across the league. Like,
it will, bro.
I've never seen a club as big as Tottenham go down. Yeah. And like, I've seen Villa and all these kind of guys, and maybe Villa fans will argue with me and all this kind of stuff, yeah. But in my lifetime, Tottenham have been consistently in the Premier League and, you know, had something
for a lot of it, they were better than us.
And had something to say and all this kind of stuff. And this is also like a trophy-winning period for Tottenham. Yeah. So I do, on the sense, not just that it's Tottenham, but just that seeing a club of this size go down, I want to see what those shockwaves look like. I want to see what the discourse looks like. I want to see what the revisionism looks like. You know, Daniel Levy, hero, all of this kind of stuff. I want to see what a rebuild Tottenham looks like. Because I feel like Tottenham fans are just like, yeah, we just... Remember when the United fans were like, yeah, let's relegate us, let's go down and come back up as like this reformed team, some Phoenix. You know? Yeah. I just don't know if it's always like that.
It's not. I've seen Tottenham fans say that they don't think they'll come back up. First time of asking.
I think they'll come back up, or they could. Maybe. Well, if they finish in the playoff places,
we've called the championship an abyss.
No, it is the abyss. I still think that some decent players, Bergwijn, whatever, will stay, and they might just have a bit more quality than some of the guys in the championship. But I think the first season back in the Prem isn't a gap. I don't think that one is like, well, now we finished. We finished 12th, and then we go on to finish 8th, and then we're back to being a top 6 club. Like I think that
once they get relegated,
I think that one is like
so far. But I see what Tottenham fans are saying about not coming back straight away. It might take 2 years, 3 years, whatever. Because if Tottenham are in the championship, all the other 23 teams, when they play Tottenham, it will be a cup final.
Yeah.
23 teams.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, when they go to Tottenham Stadium, because of what Tottenham Stadium is compared to Millwall, it will be a cup final. It will be day out. Yo, we're here.
They'll have to allocate, by the way, like 20,000 away fans.
Yeah, 100%.
They'll have to allocate
and whenever Tottenham come to town, they go to the Den at Millwall. They go to all these places around the world.
Loftus Road,
right?
This.
It's gonna be Tottenham are here, big boys in town, right? And Tottenham Hotspur Football Club do not deal with that.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah. They are potentially the worst club at dealing with everyone wants your scalp. Yeah, they're potentially the worst club at dealing with that.
It's brutal.
So look, I think it's going to be mad. I personally, I've been thinking about it a lot. I've been going between the two. Do I want them to go down? Do I want them to stay up? I was originally, I want them to go down. The Son missed chance.
Yeah.
That's all
But I just want them to stay up. And keep the rivalry, keep the North London derby. 6 points a season.
Yeah, I want Tottenham to stay up. That's where I've landed because
I'm not mad at that. I'm really not.
Like when the fixtures come out, yeah, in July or June or July.
I want to know when
whenever
the
it is.
Tottenham one is.
That's the first one I look for.
Yeah, yeah, I hear that.
Tottenham home and away is the first fixture I look for. It's been like that for over a
long
decade,
time.
15
Yeah,
years,
yeah,
however
yeah.
long I've been doing that. That's the game. I want to know when that game is.
Yeah, I hear
Like,
that.
even regardless of the 6 points we take from them, and as they let it all work out, and
Yeah,
which has all been great.
yeah.
Like, that's just like looking back at the years, and we speak about Eric Dyer and Aubameyang and everything, the Lamella and everything that's gone on in North London. I can't. I don't think I want the Premier League season without that fixture.
No, I agree with you. The big Tottenham wins are some of the best days.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that we circle and look back, and I'm really not mad at the answer.
Even the Marino pass for the Trossard.
Yeah, I really don't mind if Tottenham stay. I still just lean on the like unseen, the unknown. Like, there is a part of me that is so curious.
It'll be one of the probably the craziest thing.
Nothing happens, nothing changes if West Ham or Forest go down and Burnley and Wolves go down. Like, there's no reverberations across the league or anything like that. But like,
and there is a part of me that is like, Tottenham was 17th last year. Yeah, fair enough. They were like 10 plus points or whatever. But to be in this position again, to be flirting with relegation again.
It's dark.
There's an element of you get what you deserve.
Yeah, it's deserved.
Yeah,
it's deserved. Bad transfer windows. It's deserved.
I'm not gonna be unhappy if Tottenham go down.
Yeah.
I will enjoy it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
But just when I had to come to a final decision, and that's why it was strange, because I was like, Van der Ven.
It's tough.
Van der Ven, did you really have to get sent off there? Right. But what I do want is, I want it to be as scary
as possible.
Last day,
all the threat.
Tottenham Like, I want Tottenham fans to be. I mean, they already are, to be fair.
And I think they'll get it wrong next season anyway. I honestly think that the fact that the Thomas Frank thing hasn't worked out has really set them back.
I mean, Thomas Frank. I didn't get what Nick was saying about they sacked him too early.
They sacked him at the right time and all this stuff.
But Thomas Frank would have kept them up.
It set them back so much in my mind, because the project now, how the project looks, and they still got good players and they got a decent team, and a manager of some sort of respectability will take that job 100%. You make a name for yourself in the Premier League, you do a good job at Tottenham, doors open for you. But I just feel like, because it hasn't worked out for Thomas Frank, and because we know players are going to want to leave, I just feel like it's going to be turbulent there for the next 2 years. Like,
I mean, it's going to be Pochettino.
You think after the World Cup? Yeah. If they get relegated, I'm putting my money.
Pochettino's begging for it, and I think the Tottenham fans are begging for it.
I think it starts off well, and then Pochettino's like, the Prem's changed.
Yeah.
The Prem isn't the Prem that I knew before, where I could just get away with doing this, this, and that. But if they do go down, I think Scott Parker will take over.
I'm not saying it will go well or whatever, but I think Tottenham fans, they won't care.
Yeah,
at that point, if they've stayed up,
Daddy's home.
Right?
That's
literally, Abby literally said that.
Daddy's home.
Yeah. Right, for Pochettino. I really don't think they'll care. So they'll just enjoy the vibes and whatever else. But look, that's all the football.
Yeah.
We've spoken a lot today. Almost a 2-hour episode. So like, comment, subscribe, let us know your
feed the streets. We're feeding the streets.
Tweet of the week.
I don't have a tweet. I have a text.
Okay.
When Bat sent that message, Vicario still in goal.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I found that so funny.
Because you were thinking, wait, does Bat really want Kinski? Or...
it's everything. Because does Bat really want Kinski? But is Vicario still in goal? But I've heard about Bat cussing out Vicario now.
Yeah.
For weeks. And then for Vicario to then go on and just make more calamities in the game.
Yeah.
It's like the cycle.
That's a good one. We should actually do tweet or message of
the cycle. And it's just like, as I saw, because I wasn't even on the team sheets. I wasn't even on the I missed the game because I was out, all this kind of stuff. But when I just saw that Vicario still in goal, question mark.
Yeah.
I just burst out laughing.
Oh man. I do actually have a tweet of the week. And it's funny, you said you don't have a tweet of the week, but my tweet of the week is one you sent me. And it was that me to Piero Hincapié at the parade. The guy touching you. Love that. The guy touching brilliant. Piero Hincapié. And there was another Hincapié one that I think you sent me but I can't remember that one. But
I saw another tweet that was like,
the Pedro Neto thing when you were like, the tweet was
yeah.
like when I knew.
I love it. Yeah. He's looking at it. Like, I have that
after the
bookmark.
slide
I have
tackle.
that bookmark.
Yeah.
I saw there was another tweet that I sent you that was like, I'm so torn after this result. We've got 3 points, but we've done it in a way that Fabian Hurzeler doesn't like, and I'm starting to ask myself, is it worth it?
I'm not sure how to feel.
yeah.
That was good. Okay, MVPs and rookies. MVP Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
I've been sent available. Injury report status available as of 1 hour ago from the Boston Celtics. Tonight, the Dallas Mavericks. He's gonna be back on that bench. 12 o'clock. I'm gonna be watching.
Minutes restrictions. I'm
back. I'm back. The NBA app's gonna see me.
Yo.
Jason Tatum, the return.
And do you know how nasty it is? Because the NBA is so funny. How they're going to ramp him up for the playoffs. He's going to start off playing 10 minutes. Then he's going to go to 12. Then he's going to go to 15. Then he's going to have a 20-minute game. Then 25.
I'm going to enjoy those 12 minutes. I'm going to enjoy those 12 minutes. Been waiting a long time for this, bro. I ain't going to see Hallie till next year. So, but Nuno, for sure.
Yeah, Nuno for sure.
Big time. Eddie Howe.
Yeah.
Pressure was on.
Yeah.
Bukayo Saka, 300 Arsenal appearances. Anyone else for MVPs?
Yeah, I've got the Hornets, LaMelo Ball. I was gonna say Carmelo Ball, LaMelo Anthony. I'm getting them mixed up.
Carmelo Ball, Anthony.
Yeah. LaMelo Ball. Bro, LaMelo just kills me, man. Like his shot making ability, like the off one leg, like one dribble past half court off one leg.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous.
It's ethical hoops.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Did you see Ant's dunk?
Yeah. No, but
detonating.
But Ant the past 2 weeks.
The tweet was killing me. Ant Edwards detonates on whoever the guy's name was.
No, but Ant for the past 2 weeks, I don't know what he since the
Yeah.
in the corner. That's just what I do.
Yeah.
Pushing his coach, shoving his coach. That's just what I do. He told me to pass. That's just what I do. But come on, like
I'll actually give Granit Xhaka an MVP because he's come back from injury and they drew away at Bournemouth.
Yeah,
and they won away at Leeds.
Yeah, sorry, I beat Leeds.
Right? Just from Granit coming back, it seems. He's in the team.
We
know, but we know that, innit?
Remember
at Arsenal, it was like, why is our record when Granit doesn't play?
Rob Edwards is going to get an MVP.